Good morning, everyone. This is Ida. I wanted to, a lot of people have been, sorry guys, a lot of people have been asking me about the giant coffee cup treat bag that I made for Tamika swap. Let me see if I can zoom you guys out. I don't want to be too close. No, we'll leave it that way. I'll turn it this way because I do want you guys to see. I think I need to move out a little bit, you guys. Let's see. Right there. Well, right there. I wanted you guys to see the full cup. Now this is, uh-oh, I got paint on my cup, you guys. I tell you. I don't even know how I did that. Doesn't matter. That's going to be covered up anyway, but I wanted to share with you the pieces that you need. Now this cup, I have a front and a back, and this is the Santa baby paper, you guys. Now this is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be not the treat bag that swings, the lid swings open. This is going to be like a jumbo coffee cup box. Or you could say instead of a mini loaded envelope, I'm going to make a coffee cup box or loaded, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I can't even think right now. But so I was thinking, you guys, that I was going to do a gusset all the way around, not a accordion style, but just like a box type, and we're going to make this into a loaded envelope or a loaded box, but like the shape of the coffee cup. Now, I am going to do the other coffee cup, but I really wanted to do this one because I'm working on different loaded envelopes for different people, and this gives me one more envelope that I don't have to worry about, because if I make the bag, I don't feel like it would hold. It holds some stuff in there. It does hold quite a bit, but not everything that I want to put in there, and I want to be able to contain everything in the box. So we are going to make this a 3D box, which is going to be standing like this, and it's going to have a 2-inch gusset or sides all the way around. So let's get started, you guys, because this is actually, I'm going to have to break this up, you guys, because it's going to be, it'll be too long if I don't. So you're going to need 2 of the jumbo cups. Now what I did was we got the template off of Google, on Google Images, and there was this cup, and it also had the lid part separate. So here's the lid part right here. And I needed 2 of these. Now, this is not the original size that is on with the cup. I actually copied and pasted and made one bigger, like a 1/4 of an inch all the way around the original small one. That's how I got this bigger piece. I'm not the one that actually does it. I just kind of tell my daughter, okay, I needed to do this and I needed to do that. Can you make it do this? And she does it. Because I do own a brother scanning cup, but I really haven't taken the time to learn it yet, and I really need to because I have so many ideas in my head. So let's get started, you guys. I needed 2 of those. I needed 2 of the bigger lids, and I only cut them out in white, guys, because I have a 3rd piece that is going to go on here. And let me see if I can find it really quick. I think, yes, it's right here. But I'm going to do both styles, but just that's going to be a separate video. Now, I bought this paper from Tonic Studio, and I absolutely love it. And it's very close, you guys, to the foil that's on the Santa Baby paper. So that is actually going to be like an overlay on the cup. That's going to go right here on the cup. But see this pink one? That was the original size of the one that fits right on top of this big cup. And so I cut one out. 2 out actually in the smaller ones, and then I made 2 bigger ones, or I made a bigger one, and when I had it the size I wanted it, I copied and pasted and cut 2 of those. So, but this smaller one is the one that does come with the cup, and it does fit perfectly right here on the cup. But I needed a bigger one because I want to make a lid. So that's what we're going to do, you guys. And you're going to need a coffee sleeve, or if you want to create your own, that's fine. I always save these, not from when I buy coffee, but although you can too, it's that I buy these for my husband for work, and he doesn't like the sleeves. So I have a bunch of new sleeves that I just save. I don't throw them away. So you need one of the coffee sleeves. And then you're going to need a piece of cardstock. This is 110 pound, and this one measures 6 3/4 by 3 inches. The reason it measures 6 3/4, I'm going to tell you, because it doesn't matter what size you do, guys. I want you to see how I get my measurements. I measure this all the way across. This measures 4 3/4. Now, I know I want it, when I fold it up, I want it to go up at least an inch. So I add an extra inch to either side of this. So that's where I get the 6 3/4, because the original measurement is 4 3/4, and then I add 2 inches to that, for 1 inch for either side. So that's how I got the measurement for this piece. So it's going to be 6 3/4 by 3 inches. You're going to score on the long side 1/2 inch, rotate it another 1/2 inch, and then on the shorter side you're going to score it 1 inch, rotate it, and score again at another inch. So that's, I already scored mine. And then you're going to need two, at least two. I don't think we're going to need a third one. I cut one out nonetheless, but you're going to need another piece that measures 3 inches by 11 1/2. This is the full length of the sheet, the 8 1/2 by 11. So this is 11 1/2 inches long, and it is 3 inches wide. So you're going to need 2 of those, you guys. And then you're going to score it at 1 inch on either side. You know, score it, at 1/2 inch. Score it 1/2 inch, then rotate your paper if you want, and score it 1/2 inch. Some of us don't need to do that, but sometimes, you know, it's hard for some people. Not all of us, you know, create the same, or it's, you know, a little bit more difficult. So, but, you know, that kind of simplifies it. Score it 1/2 inch, rotate it, score it another 1/2 inch. So let's get started with the bottom, you guys. And I've never done this before, you guys. This is the first time I'm doing it. Hopefully it'll come out right. Of course, you're going to need a bone folder. You're going to need scissors. So let's fold this, guys, where we scored them. And like I said, this is 110 pounds. And especially with 110 pounds, make sure you do score it, because when you fold it over, you have less chances of it cracking. And even though this looks like it maybe wants to a little bit, it's not really too bad. Sometimes I would recommend like something that's less than 110 pounds. Maybe I don't know if there's such a thing as a 90 pound, or even 100 pound would be better. But this one's 110, and I can deal with it. It's okay. It's not going to break or anything on me. So I folded it on either side. Then I did the same here. Now, what we're going to do here, you guys, is we're going to, let me see. From the mountain tops. Okay, we're going to cut it right here, guys. We're going to cut this little piece up to the score line that goes across. So this, we're cutting up the score line, and we're only going to meet up to the point right there. And we're going to do that on either side. And then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to do the same. I hope you guys can see. We're cutting up to that score line on either side, and I think that I'm going to actually angle it, because I want to make sure, so I'm going to snip this little triangle off. I want to make sure that nothing gets in the way, you guys. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to do the same over here. I'm just going to cut these at an angle, do the same here. I hope you guys can see, because if I bring you too close in, we won't be able to, you won't be able to see the whole thing. And I want you to see exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully that's close enough. So here it is. We're just going to snip that. So what we're going to do first, guys, I'm going to use glue. Maybe I'll use some tape. This edge right here, we're going to glue this right there, you guys. Just like that. We're going to line it up and glue it. I'm going to go ahead and use tape for the sake of this video. But I really, guys, this is what I like to use, the Scotch glue. It's a quick dry glue, and it dries pretty fast, but I'm almost out, so I have to use the tape. And I like score tape too, but I don't have any right now. And so we're just gonna do this. We're gonna put tape right here, and just close to the score line, you guys. And we're gonna cut this. Now I could put 2 pieces, or I could use maybe a wider tape, but I think this will be fine because I think I am gonna add like a bead of glue, and I'm gonna put one on either side of this, guys, close to the score mark. I guess I should have kept going because I am gonna need it. And on this little piece as well, you guys, put a little piece of tape as well, close to the score line. And do that to all sides. I guess I should have put the tape in and then cut it, but it is what it is. I'll show it to you once I'm done. That way you guys can see what I did. I'm just adding the score tape to these little, this little 1-inch piece that we scored, because we're gonna glue all that in, or tape all that in. But personally, I recommend using the glue, but some people just like to work with score tape. And just burnish that. Make sure that when you go to peel off the red line tape, the red piece, everything, the glue stays down, or the tape stays down. So there it is, guys. So now we're going to remove this one side. I don't have any nails, you guys. I know a lot of people use their different tools. I kind of just don't. So I'm going to put this down, guys, and I'm going to line this up right up to the score line, you guys. And I'm not going to press it down yet, because once it's down, it's down. I really needed to open my shade right up to the score line, guys. I didn't open my shade. There we go. So there's one. We're going to do the same on the other side, guys. See? When we fold this in, this cup is going to stand up like this. Let me see. These pieces, you guys, we're going to turn them in, and we're going to glue them down as well. That's going to create our box. I don't know if I want to do both sides right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue down. So this is my front, guys. This is what I want for the front, because I wanted this sheet, this 12 by 12 with the foil that had the Santa in the corner. But the way it cuts, you know, the Santa, it cut a piece off, and it just didn't work for me. So I made it the back, but I'm putting it on the inside because of, you know, I really, you know, you can tell the Santa's cut off, so I'd rather have this on the outside. So whatever side you want on the outside, make sure you have it the right way. So, you know, I think I am going to add a little bit of glue right here where the tape didn't reach. Like I said, I really prefer to work with glue. And line it up to that score line. Yep, there it is. So that's what your piece should look like, guys. You should have a cup. Oh, I did the wrong one. I didn't want that one. See, guys, I don't think I can take it off. I'll try, maybe. No, I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm just gonna leave it. See, what I should have done, I should have had it flipped over the front sides to me, and I didn't. So there's my first mistake, you guys. It's not a lost cause. I mean, the paper is still pretty, but I just didn't like the fact that Santa was cut off right here. So that's going to be the inside right there, guys. Look at how wide and thick our cup's going to be, and I'll be able to put plenty of goodies in here. And then we're going to design a lid that's going to just fit right over the top. So now we're going to take off the sides right here. I hope that I'm in frame. Take off this one and take off this one on this side, and all we're going to do is really fold it over, and that way it fold this flap in, you guys. See how it's sticking out like this? Just fold it in. Do the same thing on the other side, like if you're creating a box, and just kind of line it up. Make sure you're nice and straight. Do the same thing on this side, line it up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See, make sure your lines, See how it's lined up nice and neat right there? And I'll show it to you. Let me just make sure it's nice and glued down. See how it's nice and lined up right here, you guys? That's what you want to do. And same thing on the other side. Make sure it's nice and lined up. There it is. Now we're going to do the same thing, guys, on this back piece. I really wanted this to be the back side. I was debating anyway, so it doesn't matter. So let's take off the two little pieces off of the other two tabs. And hopefully this cup will go pretty fast, you guys. Like I said, I've never done it before. This is the first time I'm doing it right here. And that way you guys can see, you know, I make mistakes, then I have to fix things, but I don't waste. I always use it. I'm going to add a little extra glue right here on the tabs where there isn't any of the tape. You don't have to if you're using a wider tape, but mine's just that little 1/4 inch tape, so I really think it's best that I do. And I'm going to go like this, you guys. I hope you can see. And I'm just going to line that up right there. And I'm going to put my finger in here and press it and make sure it's nice and glued down. The tape will hold it, you know, pretty good. Do the same thing here, guys. Line up and press down. The tape will hold it pretty good, and then the glue will be an added protection. And just use your bone folder to rub it, to burnish it, to make sure that it's not going to come undone. So here's part of our cup already, you guys. You can see where we're going with this. See the box? But it's going to be flush with the cup. Now, the only thing I'm not going to do is, you can see the cup curves right here. Now, I can do it because, you know, when you sew, you pretty much know how to maneuver around these curves. But I want to make it simple, you guys, for you guys. So we're just going to go up at an angle, and we're going to stay in the inner perimeter of here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, I don't know, guys, we'll see. If it's not too bad, I'll go ahead and do it the way I would normally do it. Because, you know, sometimes for me, you know, it's not really a big deal, but it is a little time consuming. And since I'm doing it on camera, you guys, I want to do it as fast as possible so you all don't get bored with me. So here it is. Here is that 3-inch piece that we had scored at 1/2 inch on either side. Now this piece, you guys, is going to go, and I'm going to put it on the inside of the box, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, or I can do two things, but I think I'm going to put it on the, I'm going to do it on the outside. Okay, this piece, you guys, for now I'm just going to show it to you on the inside. It's going to go right up this side. So you are going to have this little lip here, you guys. Let me see. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about by see what this does? This gives us the box. Now, me personally, I can maneuver around this curve and come straight up. And maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But I want to make it easy for y'all. So I'm going to see. But here's going to be the sides, you guys. See the side of the box? That's what you're going to get. Now, if I wanted to maneuver around this, I would have put the sides first and then the bottom, because it's easier when you can, you only have one side that you're working with and not the whole piece. But I'm going to see if I can do it for you guys. I'm going to see. So I'm going to cut this piece. I'm just going to cut up, you can do 1 inch if you want. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to cut up a slit up here. And I'm actually going to cut that off. And what that's going to do, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to cut it off. What this, see, this leaves us this little tab here. I think I need to cut a little bit more right here. Okay, what this does, you guys, by cutting these little corner pieces off, this allows us to, just like this, right over this piece that we had before. So that's what it does. And you know, I feel like I need to do a little bit more, not much, but you want it to line up. See, you can see there's a little bit right there, guys. So I'm going to see this little tab right there. I don't want to have to trim that. So So I'm going to cut up just a little bit more. So, and it should line up perfectly at the top. You can measure and just cut an inch. That's probably the best thing to do, but I'm not going to measure. So when I put this piece right here, you guys, when I slide it up here, now what you're going to do with this piece, you want to line it up at the bottom right here, guys, and then it's going to go up right there and right there. Now, I've decided I'm not going to follow that curve because I want to make it easy for you guys. I'm not going to follow that curve. I'm just going to angle in where the top. See, I'm not going to do it this way because then you would have to curve around this little tab. I'm going to line it up with the inside, the shortest side, and the cup on the top. That's where we're going to line up. And again, we're going to need tape right here, you guys. This is going pretty quick, you guys. So we're going to put the tape on the piece after we've cut out those little tabs at the bottom and put it right up to the score line, you guys. Don't go past that score line. There's one. And you'll want to do the same thing to the other side as well, you guys. Let me see. Just right up to the score line. I hope that I am in frame. And this is going to give us this awesome box, you guys, to put goodies in. Okay. With this piece right here, on the inside of this piece, I'm going to add some tape, you guys. So you're going to flip it over and you're going to add tape on this inside piece. Right at the edge on the bottom. I'll show you in a minute as soon as I'm done. And I'm going to put a second piece right here.
What are you making, Martha Stewart?
There she is, you guys. There is my sidekick. Say hi, Abby.
Hi. I've been on vacation.
She's been slacking, you guys.
Yes, I have.
So, okay, you guys, after you burnish this tape, we're going to take off this bottom, the tape that we put on the inside, these two on this little short tab. And we're going to line it up. We're going to line it up right here, you guys, and just glue it down. That's all we got to do. And because we already had tape there, it's just going to glue instantly. I'm going to turn it this way. That way I can burnish it with my tool. Make sure that everything is glued down. Okay. Now we're going to do one side at a time, you guys. We're going to take off this tape from here. And it's pretty much going to fall into place, you guys, because we already have we have it lined up there. Now, this is what you're going to do, guys. Make sure when you're lining up to this corner right here. Now, it might look like I might need to trim off a little bit on top. I didn't want to. So you see, guys, I stayed inside where this dip is. I didn't want it to show over here. Now, it looks like it shows a little bit, but it's not too bad. And all the way to the inside corner. So your guide is going to be this little dip. You're not going to want to go past that because you don't want the pink sticking out. You want the exact shape of the cup. So stay within that little dip right here where it curves out. Don't go past that. Just keep coming straight all the way to the end of the cup, or the top of the cup. Not the end, but the top, and just go back and burnish it. It looks like I'm going to have to trim a little bit, you guys, but it's not going to be too bad. So now I'm going to take off this other piece. Seems to be going pretty fast, guys. Awesome. And right here, you guys, see right here? I'm going to make sure that I'm on the inside right there. And then this is going to be there. See, I lined up right here, and I lined up right here.
KT.
So we're going to line up right there. There's the side to our cup, you guys. Isn't that awesome? So this is going to stand up like this, you guys, and wait till we decorate it. So let's do the other side. Let's do the other side. That way we can work on the lid. And it, like I said, it doesn't look like it's going to take us long. Now, if I wasn't doing a video, I would probably go around the curve and all that and give myself extra work. But to be honest, you guys, it's not necessary because this is going to be awesome. Where have you seen a box like this? I mean, you might have, but I haven't. So, how can we go wrong? This is awesome. Just go ahead and burnish that. And now I'm going to open it back up, you guys, so I can add my tape. And I'm going to cut again up until, I'm going to cut the piece again right here, you guys. I'm going to go up about 1 inch. And I am just eyeballing it, but you can measure if you want. And it's 1 inch that you're going to go up. Or a little shy of 1 inch. Now, before I put tape on this, guys, I'm going to try it to make sure that I cut enough. Yes. See how this slides just right to the bottom of that, guys? That's perfect right there. That's what you want it to do. You want it to line up right at the bottom of that piece. So let's go ahead and add the tape to it because our measurements are good. From the mountaintops. Let's see. I have a hard time finding the end of this, guys. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and put your piece of tape right up to the, right below the score line. Or right up to the score line. I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. And I should have added glue and I didn't, you guys. But if you're using a wider piece of tape, then you don't have to. But mine's really thin. Mine's 1/4 of an inch. I don't really like to use the 1/2 inch tape here because I don't like it to stick out and then have to worry about, you know, rolling it back inwards to itself and all that mess. So now we're going to flip it over, you guys. And on the inside of this flap, we're going to add some more of this double-sided tape. We're going to add a piece right there. And a piece right here at the bottom. Line up right at the edge of the bottom, you guys. And let's score this. Let's burnish it. And we're going to remove the tape, you guys, on this inside flap first. I don't have any nails, you guys, and I do have a tool, but I don't like to be messing with that stuff. I like things simple. I don't like the extra work. Okay, see, I took the tape off, and this I'm going to line up, you guys, right here to the edge of the bottom of the box. That's what I'm going to do. From the mountaintops. Don't stick yet. Not yet. It's stuck, you guys, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because it's stuck and I don't want to ruin it. It's pretty close to the edge. I just like to be in control. I don't want the tape to control me. I want to control it. So here it is, you guys. All we got to do is take off this tape and glue these sides down, making sure to stay beneath this, underneath this curve. And pretty much our box is done. Wow, that was super fast. What a surprise. Okay, so I'm going to take the tape off of this piece. And I'm going to make sure, let me open this up. See, guys, right here, I'm staying inside right there. See how I lined up right in here, right underneath this curve? And I'm stuck. I'm stuck to the box. And the other one is going to be lined up right there. Now I'm going to burnish. And we're going to do the same right here, guys, on this end. Wow, I can't believe how fast this was. You know, guys, I thought this was going to be like a lot of work. And it wasn't. Again, we're going to go back here, you guys. Let me turn it this way because I want to see what I'm doing. Right here, and we're going to stay right underneath that curve. Right there. And then I'm going to leave my finger there and so it won't get glued down. And I'm going to come up here and see how I lined it up right inside that edge, that top edge. And use your bone folder to burnish. Make sure it's nice and glued down. Oh, I'm going to love this box. I already know it. There's our box, you guys. What do y'all think? There's the front of my box. Now right here, this is where our coffee sleeve pocket is going to go, but I'm going to stay under the heart right there. How beautiful is that, you guys? I hope y'all can see it. That's going to be beautiful when we get done with this. Okay, let's work on the lid, you guys. Now, I'm going to have to figure out a way. I feel like I need to trim this little piece right here. If yours is up like this, you guys, see the piece right there? You guys see how it's sticking out a little bit? Just go in there with your scissors and cut that piece off. That's all you got to do. Just nip it off. And there's our box. And it's going to stand up. When you fill it up with goodies, you guys, this is going to stand up. How cute is that? You can do the same with the ones that have the dome like a frappe cup. I'm sure you could do the same. You know, it takes a little thinking, you know, but I'm sure you guys could manage that. Let's work on the lid, you guys. I'm going to move this aside. But let me give you the, see the profile right there? So we have this little piece right here that's sticking out, but it still looks pretty good, you guys. But there is a way to follow this curve. It's just a little bit more work, you guys. And I think for a coffee cup like this that, you know, it really doesn't need it. I did do another project where I curved around like that, but I can't show it yet because it's a swap and my partner wants to be surprised. So, but you'll see how I maneuvered and stuff on that one. That looks pretty good, you guys. I need to stop admiring it and move on to the next. Now, we're going to make the lid, you guys, to go on top of the coffee cup. And I want it to slide right in, guys, like this. Like it's going to be, literally, it's going to be a box that slides right in. And it'll cover this piece right here. And then we're going to add this piece. I'm not sure if I'm going to emboss it. I think I am going to run it through an embossing folder with maybe snowflakes or poinsettias or something. But I am going to emboss. But for now, let's work on this lid. And you know what, guys? I didn't pre-cut anything for the lid, I don't think. These are just scraps that were left over and are not big enough. Okay. So let's work on the lid. We're going to need a piece. Where's my ruler? I need to move this. I was painting, you guys, getting ready for this. And that's how I got paint on my thing. Okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. We need to measure from the top of this lid to the bottom. So it's 2, looks like it's 2 3/8. From the top of the lid to the bottom of the lid. It's 2 3/8. So we're going to have to add, so, I mean, if I was you, I would write that number down on a scrap piece of paper. So it's 2 3/8. And then we're going to add to that, we're going to add, you know what, let's make it 2, no, I'm going to leave it at 2 3/8. And now we're going to measure, guys, across from here to here, from this corner to this corner, and this measures about 6 1/4 inches. Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe 6 3/8 as well, you guys. Plus 6 3/8. So let's say 2.5. You know, I'd rather have a little extra, guys, and trim it off than not enough. So let's just say that this was 2.5. Now we're gonna have to times that by 2 because we got 2.5 here and 2.5 inches on here on either side. Our paper's gonna have to go across and down the lid, up here and down here. So this 2.5 times 2 is 5 inches. And then we're going to have to add the 6 3/8 plus the 6 3/8. So it's going to be 11 3/8 of an inch. Yeah. So we're going to need a piece that is 11 3/8 of an inch. And the width is going to be, the width on this lid is going to be exactly like this, which we had a 2-inch here and then the 1/2 inches that fold over. But we're going to add 1/8 of an inch to that width, you guys, because we want the lid to go over this. And if we do it the exact same size, it won't fit. So we have to make it 1/8 of an inch wider. So that's what we're going to do. Instead of it being 3 inches wide, it's going to be 3 1/8 inch wide, the strip. Oh, 11 3/8. Okay, you know what? I have a piece right here, and it might be enough, you guys, because this is 11.5 inches. So we're going to score it. Nope, it's not wide enough because I needed it to be 3 1/8. I know how I'm going to fix that, you guys, without cutting another piece. I'm going to score. I'm going to use my cutting tool to score. I'm going to score, you guys. One side is going to be scored at 1/2 inch.
What are you making? I didn't ask you.
I'm making a coffee cup box, for a loaded box. Yep,
yeah,
here's
that's pretty.
Here's the cup already. But now I'm making the lid for it. Okay, guys, we're gonna rotate it, and instead of doing it at scoring it at 1/2 inch, we're going to score it a little under 1/2 inch. That way, it gives our cup is a little bit wider. It gives us a little bit more room to fit right over the cup. So we're gonna score it instead of at 1/2 inch at 3/8 of an inch, and we're gonna score that. And that's going to give us that little extra 1/8 of an inch in between here. And I'm sorry if you don't understand me, because I know sometimes measurements are hard for somebody. But this piece was 3 inches wide by 11.5. I scored one side at 1/2 inch, and the other side I scored it at 3/8 of an inch, which is a little shy, 1 point under 1/2 inch. I hope that I explained that, guys, enough for you to understand me. So let me move this, and we're gonna fold this over. Now right here, guys, we are going to have to cut corners, and when you see me do the corners, that's kind of tell you how to show you how to maneuver around curves and corners. When something is curving away from you, you just snip it. When the curve is curving into you, you make a V. You notch it. When you do a notch, it's a V. But you know, when I do the other one, I will explain it to you guys, because I had to do that when I did the purse treat bag that I made for the Scrap the World swap. I had to maneuver whether it was a snipping it or a V. And that's how I did it. Now, we're going to, I needed one more score line, you guys, that I didn't do. And that was at, what did I say, 2.5 inches? Yes. The side going down. Remember, we gave it 2.5 inches right here. So we're going to score at 2.5 inches. Let me move it this way. Maybe this will be better for you guys. I'm going to line up at 2.5, and I'm going to score. I'm going to rotate it again, and I'm going to line up at 2.5 inches, and I'm going to score it again. Those are the score marks that you need. On either end, score 2.5. On one side at 1/2 inch, and the other side at 3/8 of an inch. Unless you cut this piece 3 1/8 of an inch wide, then you would of course score on the side at 1/2 inch on either side. I'm just improvising because I cut it too short and I don't like to waste. Okay guys, right here we're going to have to cut this because we're going to want this to curve down. And I'm going to cut out a little V there because, so I'm going to cut it up the score line right up to the intersecting score line, and then at an angle on the short flap because I want it to bend like this, you guys. So we're going to do the same here up to the score line, and I'm going to give it a little angle, that way we don't have any problems. And the same thing here, we're going to cut it up to the score line, and then we're going to cut out a little notch right there. When I say notch, it's a V, you guys. When I say slit, it's just cut it, just snip it. And let me throw these scraps away. So this lid, you guys, we're going to line up right here at the middle, and then we're going to curve down, and that's going to make our lid to our coffee cup. But we need to put tape on here first, so let's go ahead and do that. Wow, this is going pretty fast, you guys. I am surprised. I thought surely it would take a long time. So I'm going to put tape right up against the score line, you guys. Right there. And I'm actually just going to keep going, and I'll go back and cut out that little notch because I don't feel like dealing with cutting and retaping and all that. I'll just snip it when I get there. Right there. Turn this around. Going to do the same thing up here, guys. Right up to the score line, we're going to add the double-sided tape or glue if you prefer. I'm going to do just the tape because this is just, I'm going to gift this to somebody. Go ahead and burnish. Make sure your tape is nice and glued down. And right here where I had the, I'm wondering if I even need to remove it. I'm just going to snip it right here, you guys. I'm just going to snip it. Just snip the tape. I'm not snipping the paper anymore because I already did that. I'm snipping the tape where I just went straight across. Okay, you guys. To do these, we're going to have to line up at the midpoint. Now, you can either mark it or you can just line up. Now, I think that we are going to have to add something to it, and I'm going to tell you why, guys. Because if we line this all the way to the top, the lid is going to fall too far below where we need it to be. We need the lid, you know, if we were to line it up to the top, it would fall here, and you would be able to see these little tabs right here, the cups sticking out. See these? You don't want these to show. So we're going to have to line up. I'm going to show you right now in the back. We're going to have to give it like a 1/2 inch down and then line up. That way our cup sits right where it needs to be. So you can either mark this or you can just eyeball it with, like you can use your ruler. Let's say this is my ruler. I can go down about 1/2 inch right there. And then of course, well, that doesn't work for me because it's, well, no, it isn't. It's not in the way. And then we, of course, would hold this down, you guys, and just line that up right there. We want to go down a 1/2 inch. But it's this kind of makes it difficult to see. Let me see. Maybe not. This might be okay. Maybe slide it over a little bit. So what we want to do, guys, it's kind of hard for me to explain to you guys. I want to line up in the middle, you guys. So when I fold this, I guess you might have to crease this, you guys, so you can see and you can make sure that where you're at is at the midpoint of. See, you want to have the same enough distance of space here and here, and this looks about right, you guys. So I'm going to I'm just going to glue it down because that looks about right. But I'm going to hold it in one end. I'm going to hold it right here, you guys, so it doesn't move. And I'm going to take the tape off. It's not going to move, guys, because I'm holding not just the cup that we're, the piece that we're gluing down, but because there's a 1/2 inch left over here, I'm actually holding down the lid that's underneath, so it doesn't move, because it's already at 1/2 inch, and that's how high I needed it to be, you guys. And I'm just going to press this down and glue it down. That's going to be probably the hardest thing you have to do for the lid, to get it centered and to get it 1/2 inch below. And if I use my ruler here, you can see that I am 1/2 inch below. So guys, I'm gonna have to stop here because my battery is going dead, but we will continue this as soon as I charge my camera. So that's what you need to do, guys, on either side, and that will kind of help you, and then we'll come back to this. Thanks for watching, you guys. So I'm back, you guys, with hopefully the last part of this lid to the jumbo coffee cup. I don't know how much I got to record before my battery went dead. I think we were good, but nonetheless, I think it was on this lid part, and I'm going to do the other side. So I'm going to repeat the same process that I did on this side, so you will be able to tell. So anyway, let's get started. Let me see if I can. I feel like I need to reach over here, you guys, for sorry. My husband rigged up this thing for me to record, but I just don't think it's quite right. Still needs work. You know why? Because if my phone falls, if my camera falls, I'm going to be very upset. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm moving you around, but I want to make sure that my camera does not fall. I'll put my foot on it. Okay. Let me move you more this way. That way I'm not reaching. Okay, let's keep going with this lid. Now, when I was putting the lid together right here, you guys, I noticed that there was an issue with the lid, and the issue is that I should have, this piece right here, I should have cut it at 1/8 of an inch. This piece right here, the top of the lid, I should have cut that 1/8 of an inch longer this way, and I didn't, but I think we can still work with it. Another thing, we are going to have to maneuver around these curves to get the lid to fit right on top of here. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. I was going to try and make it as easy as possible for you guys, but there's no way around this, so I really have to do this. You see these little slits I have in there? I cut a couple of little slits right there, and the reason I did that is because when I glue it down right there, you guys, I'm gonna line up right in that curve the way we did on the bottom of the cup, and then I'm gonna bend this, you guys, like this, to follow the trail or the outline, see, of the cup. So we're gonna have to be putting little slits in it, or V's or notches into the cup. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna try and make it as easy as possible, but all I did was, when I figured out more or less where I was gonna glue it, guys, I turned it to the inside, and I could see where the curve was, where I needed to put my I kind of just put my finger there, and that gave me a guide where I needed to put my notches. So that's what I did. I don't know what happened to my camera that it doesn't want to do right anymore, you guys. Okay. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. You're going to put a couple of notches, and you can see right here where I split it, where I'm moving it up. We're going to put a couple there, and then we're going to try and figure out where we have to put our next one. The next one is going to be when I curve this to follow the outline of the cup. It lets me know that right here I need to put another one. So I'm going to put another one here, but this one is going to be, remember I told you a notch is a V? That's what we need to put right here. So you need a couple of slits and then a notch. And what this does, this lets you maneuver the paper and get it to turn to whatever you want it to do. See how that's following that? So that's what we want this to do, guys. So it's a little tricky. I have to admit it is a little tricky. Let me see. For some reason, you guys, this is not working for me too well. So here we go, you guys, and I'm going to do the best that I can to show you what I'm doing. But see right here on the other side, you guys, I'm going to do the same as I did here because I can kind of see, kind of eyeball it where I need to do that. So I'm going to put a slit here. I'm actually going to add a couple of them, and then I'm going to cut a notch. I'm going to cut a notch right here. This little V here, and I think that should be good enough so we can get the paper to do what we want it to do. And we're going to do the same thing over here, you guys. We're going to kind of line it up right there, and that kind of gives me an idea. I'm just going to put my thumb there and give me an idea where that cut needs to be. That cut needs to be right here, and I'm going to add another one for good measure right there, and then I'm going to add a notch. And I think this should do us, guys. And we're going to have to do the same thing on the opposite side. Let me make sure that this is going to work the way I want it to. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to give it a V right here. That way it can fold into itself. Then I'm just going to give it a couple of slits right here, you guys, so we can maneuver the paper and manipulate the paper and get it to curve the way we want it to curve. So let's start with this side. I'm going to remove the tape from here, and I'm going to remove all of it. I'm going to remove all of it, you guys, because I'm going to manipulate it now. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to turn it so you can see see, I'm gonna, right here with this curve, that's where I'm lining up right there, you guys. Part of it. Now I'm going to turn this, I'm going to bend this out to follow the outline of the cup. See right there? See how my paper is doing? Okay, now see, because we have this V cut out, we'll be able, guys, to bend this right here and get it to fold in. And I'm going to show you the inside. Because we put a V there, we can actually get it to fold in. Now I feel like I need to cut a little bit more of a notch there. So I'm going to snip another little piece off. And that way I can get it to curve in. But I need to see on the outside, guys. I actually really do need to look at it on the outside. Make sure everything is lining up the way I want it to. See right there, guys? That's what we need to happen. See the way it followed the curve of the cup? And we have a little piece left over, but we're going to cut that after we just kind of manipulate your paper. We're going to cut that after we get done putting the lid together. So we're going to do the same thing that we did on this end. We're going to do it here. Now once you do one side, the other side will, once you do one side, the other side pretty much it's easier to do. The hardest one is the first one, you guys. And when I made that purse treat bag, that's what I had to do for each of them. So here again, I'm going to line up with this curve right here, and I'm going to stick it down. Make sure it's glued down with that tape. And then I'm going to bend up. I'm going to bend up right here, you guys, so it'll follow this edge that's on this cup. And then I'm going to curve down. Now, I can see right here where I put my notch needs to be a little bit more in. And I'm going to do that right now. because I want it to bend more. So there it is. See how this is following that curve right here? Up here you don't have to worry. It's right here where you need to worry, and right here it has to be right here. It has to be a 1/2 inch inside, so the lid will fall in the right place. And then right here you line up with that little curve right here. And so the last thing we have to do, you guys, is turn this in and fold it in and line that up too. There we go. Just by bending, I can manipulate that paper and get it to do what I want it to do. See, now we still have these little pieces left over here, but I'm going to show you how this is going to fit on our cup. When we put this on our cup, you guys, it's going to fall right in the right place. It's not going to, let me see. It's going to be right in the right place. It's not going to fall too low. If we had put this piece all the way to the top of the cup, this would have swallowed it up, and we would have seen these tabs would have been sticking out up here. But because we didn't, this does where we put it, it doesn't allow it to go in any deeper, so it doesn't do that. So let's do the other side, you guys. So I'm going to move that to the side, and I hope that I'm explaining this, guys, because this is really a little difficult, especially if you don't sew. That's where it's a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to do the other side here, guys. I was working on other stuff while my camera was charging.
Your camera.
I know. Here's the other piece. While my camera was charging, I was working on other stuff, and I will show you the other things. So right here, you guys, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to... I really need your dad to fix my camera. So right here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use our ruler and mark a 1/2 inch. We're going to line up a 1/2 inch. And you can see right here by the line, see right there? That line. Now I'm going to center it because I'm using my Tim Holtz ruler, and I can actually center this, you guys. So that gives me a good idea where the middle of this is, right there. So this piece, I'm going to have to line it up right there, you guys. And I'm actually going to just bend this in, you guys, because it'll be easier to work with if we bend this. So the only piece of tape that I'm going to remove right now, actually I'm not going to remove any, because I'm going to line this up right here where I need it to be, and then I'm going to hold it. It needs to be at the 3 inch right there. That's about right. So what I'm going to do right here, guys, I'm going to flip the lid out, and I'm going to hold it there, and then I'm going to turn the gusset in, the little hinge in. That way I can take the double-sided tape off, and I know I'm going to be as close to perfect as possible. Of course, none of us are perfect, and it does help to have a tool here where, like, I literally can't grab this. Come on. Did I get it? Yep. Okay, there you go, guys. All I'm gonna do here, you guys, I'm gonna flip it back out, and it's going to be glued right where I need it to be. And I don't know if I was out of frame, you guys, because for some reason I moved the table and I don't know exactly what I did, and it's just not cooperating, but I hope you can see what I'm doing. So there you go, guys. So there's that top piece. See how it's inset a 1/2 inch in? The top is right here, but the lid is a 1/2 inch in on both sides. And that way when we put the lid on top, it's going to be where it's supposed to be. It's not going to swallow up that lid, and then you're going to have the tops of the box, the lid part, hanging up here. So this is going to be pretty easy, you guys, because we already have the paper. We've already manipulated the paper here, and you can see a little bit of my paper right here, you know. So if you can avoid that, that's even better, but it doesn't look bad. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this piece off. of the paper, and I'm going to take it all off because I don't have to worry about peeling it. And I'm going to line up right to the inside of this curve where this starts to curve. Right there. Right there, you guys. I hope you can see that. And then I'm going to bend this out, you guys. I'm going to bend it out to follow that edge on the coffee cup. And then I'm going to go back in. But you know what, guys? I think I need a bigger notch right here. That way we won't have any trouble with it. So I'm going to make the notch a little bit bigger. Like, the more you do this, guys, the better you get at it. But if you sew, you'll know what I'm talking about. And now I'm just going to bend this in. And I'm going, see, guys, I'm just going to line that lid up right there. There it is. There's our lid. And I didn't put any like score marks because I didn't want to have score marks. I just kind of wanted it to curve. So that's why I did that. But there it is. Let me use my bone folder, make sure everything's nice and adhered. And you're going to see the inside. I want you to see the inside. I hope you can see how it how they overlap, and that's why you need the notches and the slits, because that way you can get the paper to either curve out or curve in. That's what the purpose of that is. So here I've already done it, the same thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the paper off. And I'm going to do the same thing, you guys. I'm going to make sure that my paper is lined up to that curve right there. That's where I want it to stick. This one I'm going to bend out because I already have that cut there. There it is. And then I think, and then this one, guys, you know what? I think I need a,
You didn't put some in that one yet.
I did, but it needs to be more. It needs to be a bigger one. There. Okay. Right there, you guys. And now, wherever you want it to curve, that's where you're going to put the slit. I want it to curve right there. So that's where I'm going to put it. And now I can just kind of work it with my fingers, get it to, you know, to have a smooth curve right here. You don't really want sharp points. You want your paper to curve like this, in, you know, hills and valleys. That's what you want. That's what we're left with, you guys. Let me go ahead and use my bone folder in here, making sure everything is adhered. Now you can go ahead and cover the inside of the lid. I'm probably going to, because I already have some of the lids pre-cut. For example, if I wanted to put that in here to cover it, the small ones that I have would fit perfectly in there to kind of clean that up. So I do have some white ones I'm going to use in there. But this lid, of course, had to be a little bit bigger because we wanted it to fit. We wanted it to fit over the lid. So let's trim this. Let's trim this little overhang off, you guys. And be careful because we have tape on there and it's going to get gummy. So there. And then I'm just going to cut it straight across, you guys. So it's a good thing that we did cut it 2 1/2. I was thinking I had left too much, but when I realized that I needed to curve it and all that, I was glad that I had left, giving it that extra. Make sure you cut all these points off, you guys. You don't want any of that left there. There. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to cut these little extras right here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. It's kind of hard to maneuver, but there. And just straight across. Straight across to that other side. Come on. It's being stubborn. I was hoping to have gotten my swap in today because Carolyn got hers in, the treat bag swap, you guys, but mine didn't come in. I wanted to record a video for you. So let's try the lid out, you guys. Now this is supposed to fit right over this and snugly. It's supposed to stay where you know, where it doesn't show anything. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see the back. It looks like the back is caught up somewhere. Yeah. Yes. There it is, you guys. There's our box. Let me put it this way so you can see it. I might need to pan out some. Let me pan out some, guys. Look, guys, there's the lid. The lid fits perfectly on here. Yeah. See how, because this paper has a line right there, I can see that the lid is on straight. See how it's very faint because it's white. But there it is, you guys. What do you think? There's our cup, and it's standing up, and
it's pretty. I like it.
Look at this, you guys. Now let's decorate it, you guys. For the see, when you turn it sideways, you guys, see how this comes over the edge and you don't see anything. Now the same thing I did with the lid, curving this, I could have done here, but I wanted to make it easier for you guys. And I don't even know if you guys understood what I was doing just now. That's why I was really trying to show you what I was doing, and I hope that you were able to see what I was doing. Now to me, this is the front of my cup. Sorry, guys. I forgot to turn on my glue gun. This is to me, this is the front of my cup. So this is the coffee sleeve, guys, that I told you I was using. But what I did after, I kind of just put it in here and folded these flaps over here. I kind of creased them where I needed them to be. You know, gave me a guide where I needed to fold. And then I left a little extra, like a ½ inch, because I want to make it into a pocket. And I'm not going to use tape. I'm going to use glue, and I'm going to use hot glue. So I'm going to use the Beacon 3-in-1. That's what I'm going to use. And I think you could probably use Aleene's tacky glue. And we're going to do this, guys, because we want to make this into a pocket, but a pocket where we can fit, you know, other stuff. I really love the way this, see, the lid falls right under this little, your lid should fall right under this right here, the lid part on your cup. That's where it should fall. And if it's falling there, you guys, then you guys did a good job. It's perfect. So let's put this on here, guys. And I did emboss it with the Tim Holtz. I'll show you what that looks like. It's this Tim Holtz Poinsettias embossing folder. And that's what I embossed it with. And I'm going to add some glue right here. And I am also going to add some glue on the bottom because I'm making it into a pocket. So I want to make sure the bottom is closed. I'm not putting a whole lot of glue, you guys, because I don't want to make a mess. I like clean work. And
you bring hot glue too?
If I need it, I might need to put hot glue. So I'm going to, guys, put this right where I need it to be. And it's folded in. Take the lid off for a minute. I folded it in, you guys, and I wanted to glue right here on the bottom as well because I added glue there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around, and with my bone folder, I'm going to go, or actually I don't even need just with my hand, you guys, I'm kind of rubbing it in there to make sure that it is adhered at the bottom. Yeah. And that looks pretty good, you guys. I might have needed to move it a little bit higher up, but I think it's good. I think when I embossed it, you guys, I had already measured it. And then when I embossed it, I think the embossing folder maybe stretched it a little bit. So you can see a little bit of an overhang there, but not enough to make a difference. See right here? See that little piece? But it doesn't look bad, guys. And that's simply because I embossed it afterwards. And when you emboss, it kind of stretches your paper. But here's our pocket, you guys. We have a pocket right here to put a tag, to put some kind of instant coffees. I wish I had some to put in there, but I don't have any. Maybe I can find some somewhere. Okay, now, to do the lid, let's finish up the lid. I just wanted to adhere that while I'm working on something else. Here's the lid, you guys. Now, this little piece is the smaller piece that I told you guys that I had cut out. And this little piece, I embossed it with this folder right here. And this only has the ornaments on the top, and it doesn't have anything on the bottom. So I kind of just positioned my my piece where I wanted it to be embossed. So that, and this is from Ally, so you know, I've had it a long time, guys, so I can't even begin to tell you, give you a link for it. Now, I don't want this to be flush, you guys. I want this to have dimension. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to add some
foam dot?
No, some foam tape. Hopefully my camera will not fall, you guys, because I really don't know what's going on with it. Let me see, grab my my foam tape, you guys, because I know I have some in here somewhere for this. And normally I would use like scraps of chipboard and all that, you guys, but I'm not prepared, so I'm just gonna have to use this. So I'm gonna put the foam tape on the lid. I'm going to put 3 pieces, I think I can get one more in here. Yeah. I can get one more in here, you guys, because I want to make sure that the lid on the cup does not warp. So that's what I'm going to do there, and I'm going to remove the backing to it. Now, normally, like I said, I use my scraps of chipboard and stuff like that. So you can do that, you guys. And this is going to be, I'm going to turn it upside down because it seems like I'm having to reach, you guys. And until I perfect my thing that's holding my phone. And I'm going to kind of just line up. That looks pretty good right there. No. No. So no. I already started to stick. I'm going to have to leave it there, you guys. But it's okay. Dame those white ones. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these pieces right here, you guys.
The white ones?
The smaller ones. Or give me the big ones and the small ones. I'm going to try both. So right here, guys, that way this is not really flat. We have a little dimension, but not so much. Now, I had some extras of these cut. Let me see a big one. And the small one and the big. I'm going to see if I can cover up the inside because I don't like the way that looks. No, the big one's too big. I'm going to have to use the small ones. I still need big ones, Abby. And that's how I would cover that up. I'm not going to do that right now, but I am going to do that on this.
Are you going to put the big one on there?
Yes. No, the small ones. 2 small ones. Is there 2 small ones there?
Yeah.
So when you're cutting these tops, guys, make sure you cut extras because you want to be able to put it on your cup, and whether your box is open or closed, you still want it to look like a coffee cup. So that's why I am going to go ahead and add this one to it. And here we go. And you could emboss it if you wanted to, but really it's the inside and it's not really going to show. So I'm not going to, but I am adding some of this art glitter glue. And line this up right here. Just line it up on the top, you guys, and adhere it down. And this gives it more stability as well. And I got Abby right here helping me, you guys, because I'm confined to this little corner, and if I move, my camera will fall, everything will fall, because the base on my support is not big. It's very small, and it really needs to be bigger. Okay, see guys? So even though when the box is open, it's still going to look like a coffee cup. And now I'm going to do the back as well, so it'll look pretty in the front and in the back. So let's add some more of this glue. And again, if you want to, you can put them on the inside to camouflage where we put the hinges on it. So I'm just gonna line up right here, you guys. There and there, and there you go. Turn it in upside down, and I'm gonna run my finger in there, or my hand, or my bone folder, and make sure it's adhered down. So there's the back, you guys. There's the back to our cup. Here's the front to our cup. Here's the lid to our cup once we put it over this. And because we added that extra layer, guys, the lid's going to fit a little bit more snug, so you're going to have to be careful with that, because I didn't allow the extra, you know, and you really do need to line the inside because it'll get caught up in the hinges, and you don't want it to do that. Something's getting caught up. I can feel it. If your lid's not going all the way down, you guys, it's because it is getting caught up on something, so you're going to have to line it so the hinges will not get caught up. There it is. How pretty is that, you guys? Look at this. How awesome is that? So let's decorate it, you guys. Right now, I'm going to show you what I used. I used this Sizzix, and this is a holly berries and the holly leaves, and it does come, this one comes with an embossing bonus folder. Now, Abby has some of these in her shop. She's got, I think, 3 of them. I'm not for sure. I will post the link there to this item. These are a pretty good size, guys, and like I said, I'm not sure if it comes with the embossing folder, because there is a coordinating embossing folder, and it might come with it. Hers might have the embossing folder, but if anybody's interested, she's got 2 or 3 of them left, and I will post the link. But I'm going to use these, and I'm going to show you what I did with them. The first thing that I did is I painted them like a mint green, and then I painted some mossy, like a moss color over them. And then I added, guys, can you see that? The shimmer. Can you catch that? That's that glitterific, this one, guys. That's what I used on there. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these right here with some of the Beacon 3-in-1, but I'm going to position them how I want them. And I think that I want this little piece of lace that my friend Carolyn gifted me to make it look shabby. And then we're going to add the berries, and I'm missing one more berry.
Right. Oh.
I have it right here. And look at the shimmer, you guys. That, again, I painted these pink, and that it does emboss, and then I added the copper glitterific glue, which is this one on here. So I hope you guys can see how pretty they are. Like, I don't know what y'all are picking up, because I see it in the screen, but... So we're going to add these berries right here, you guys. Now, I don't know if I want to put the lace or not, because sometimes, like I said, less is more. Just the berries.
Is that all you're going to do?
No, I'm going to put Joy. Where's Joy?
Okay, where's Joy at?
I just had the
right
word.
Here.
Okay. And then, guys, I'm going to put the word Joy probably right there.
Well,
See, this is why I don't like to decorate on camera, you guys, because I take a long time to make up my mind. Like, I can put this here, then we can put the holly, this holly here. And then we can put this holly right there. That looks pretty,
Yeah,
right?
I think it looks
okay,
good
this
like
is
that.
what we're gonna do, guys. We are going to glue down this little scrap of lace, and I hope that I am in camera. And I'm just gonna actually just put it down here and set it down, and then I'm going to add a few dots right here, you guys. My assistant is helping me. She's pushing down this. Look how pretty that is. Look at how pretty, you guys. My friend Carolyn gifted me with that. Okay, here are our hollies, and I want to put them close to that. So we're going to put this one down first, and the other one I'm going to add some foam tape to it. So I'm putting the beacon, again, the Beacon 3-in-1, you guys. I really like this glitter. I mean this glue. And then on the other one, I'm gonna add some dimensional. I don't know.
I think you had that more over.
There. Is that how I had it? No. I think I had it there, and then there. There you go. Now we got it, you guys. So that's gonna go there, and I'm trying to move in frame so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm gonna get some. I have some foamy tape that I really like to use, guys, because I think it's really sticky. So that's what I'm gonna put in the back of this other piece over here, with some hot glue. So I'm gonna add like 3 pieces there, maybe even 4. I'm gonna go ahead and do 4. And then I'm gonna see, guys, there's the other piece. Can you see, guys, the shimmer? Can you see what I'm seeing? So anyway, I added some dimensional tape to the back, and I'm gonna add a little bit of hot glue to it as well. Even though this is really tacky or sticky, I'm still going to add a little bit of the hot glue. There. And that's gonna go right in here, guys. I'm gonna take my lid off because I want to make sure that this is nice and adhered. So I'm gonna put my hand inside, and then I'm just gonna press it down. But be careful, guys, because I can feel the heat from the glue. So be careful, make sure you don't burn yourselves. Oh, no, the hot glue gun.
Oh, I thought this glue got hot. I'm like, what?
Okay, now we're gonna add these berries, guys, around the roses that we have here. We're gonna put one here and one here, and I think the big one will be in the center, but on dimension.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I like it the way you had it. No.
Okay. So we're going to add, I'm just going to add hot glue, guys. And I'm going to put it down right here. There's one right there. I'm going to add hot glue to the other one as well. And you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just adding some hot glue, guys, and setting them right there. Now, the biggest one I'm going to put right here, but I'm going to put that on dimension. I think that would be okay. Do I want 1 or 2? Should I do 2? No, 1's good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, make sure when you put tape, if it's too big, to kind of just pull it in so it doesn't show. And then I'm going to add some hot glue to here, you guys. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put it right in here. Again, I'm going to stick my hand in there to make sure that this is getting glued down where I need it to be. I hope you can see that, you guys. Look at how pretty it is. It's so pretty. So now we're going to add the word joy right here, you guys. How pretty is that? Should I move it closer here? I don't want to cover the J, you guys. I think I'm going to put it right there because I don't want to cover the J. I think it looks good there. What do you think? I want y'all to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to find a spot for Joy.
And not on top of it, right? It won't stand out?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Mm-mm.
No, not that way.
Why?
Because it's not that way.
No.
I'm just gonna.
I would say do it right there.
I'm just gonna do it right here, you guys, because I can't find a better spot for it. So I'm going to add glue right there. Put my Joy down. I mean, I could move it up here too. What do you guys think? Let's put the lid on and see. If you don't line the bottom, guys, the inside of the lid, you are going to struggle when you put the lid on it. Because it's going to get caught up on those hinges that we, or those little edges where we curved around the... What about right there? Pretty? What do you guys think? Right there or right there?
Right there. I think it kind of blends in more when you put it here.
It gets lost.
It's better here, kind of stand out.
Okay, guys, here it is. This is where it's going. And this is a die that I have, you guys. Let me show you what it looks like. This is the die, guys. And it's the Stampin' the Die by Hero Arts. And there's Mary and there's Joy and there's different ones. And I have Mary and I have Joy. But the one I'm using today is Joy. And I'm just going to add some glue with my fine tip glue bottle nozzle. Hopefully I won't make a mess, you guys, because I don't like making a mess. I do not like that. Let me take the lid off, and I'm going to put my hand in here, you guys, because I want to make sure it adheres. There it is, guys. How pretty is that?
Mm-hmm.
I can see a little bit of the glue seeped out, but not bad, guys. It still looks pretty good. Now we need to dot that J, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bling piece because it's going to have to be up here, you guys. And if I put it up here, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it. Can you see that? Can you see the dot on the J?
I can, because I'm right here.
But I think I should add a bling piece. No, I'm going to add this. I'm going to do this one, guys. Put that tip back on my glue bottle. Here is, I mean, I can put it right here on the edge, guys, but I think it would be too, it would be, oh, shift it. There it is, guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's Joy. What do y'all think? Okay. Now we're going to have to line the inside of that cup, you guys, that the lid here, because we don't want it to be sticking on these hinges. And if we don't cover that up, it's going to happen. It's going to do that. Yeah. So let me go ahead and add glue here, guys, and put that in there. Now, I could go back in and have my daughter design this lid a little bit bigger than this, but smaller than the lid. But I don't think that it's worth the work. What did I do with that? I don't think that it's worth the work that she would have to do to do that. So, and I'm lining it up, you guys, with the edge, this edge of the lid, because really that's where we need it to be, so that when we slide our lid on here, it doesn't get caught up. And if we move it too high up, it's gonna get caught up. So I hope that I'm in frame. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I need a small lid. Another small one. I had these pre-cut because I'm going to gift some of these, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Okay, now we're going to do the other side, you guys, and hopefully that should be it. I put my tip back on here because if I don't, it will dry out and then I'll have issues with my bottle. There you go. And I didn't center it, you guys, and let me see if I can still move it. I can still move it. Try and center it on your project. That way, still didn't center it. I still did. You know, this glue, guys, dries pretty fast, and that's why I like to work with it. There, that's better. So it gives you a little bit of time, but not much. So now I'm just going to burnish it, making sure it's adhered all the way. Now the other cup was easier, you guys. I'd have to admit that the other cup was a lot easier than this one. The only thing that was more difficult on this one, and not too much for me because I know, like I said, I know how to sew it. But for people that don't know how to sew, it's pretty hard to follow all these curves and get it to do what you want it to do. But for me, it wasn't too bad. So now, hopefully, you guys, when we put this lid on here, it's not going to get caught up on anything because we, see, it went in a lot smoother. It went in a lot smoother because we lined the inside, so it's not getting caught up on anything. What do you guys think? So this is going to be one of my loaded envelopes, guys. That's going to go to, I don't know who it's going to, but this is the other one that I wanted to create. I'm going to put it sideways to you so you can see a really full view of it. Now, if you really wanted to get a little bit more creative, you have a little platform up here, you guys, that you could really put some type of poinsettias hanging down and some holly vines and stuff like that. You can even put like Mr. Snuggles up here, or Mr. Santa, you know, kind of like if he's peeking over the edge of the cup. Like I might do more to this, but I'm not sure. I'm just giving you ideas of what you can do to it. But if I were going to do something different, or if I do something different to it, I will definitely share it with you guys. But I do have to admit, guys, one of the things that I love, really love, and really loving right now is the glitterific paint. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, sis, for this beautiful lace that you gave me. And this lace has bling, you guys. And I was able to part with a little piece, Carolyn. But guys, look at this. And then it stands up, you guys. You can fill it up with all kinds of goodies. Oh, I want to share one more thing with you guys. And there's the inside again, you guys. See the box on the inside? How super cute is that, you guys? It's so pretty. I hope you guys try it. Don't get intimidated by it. It wasn't that bad. Really, it isn't that bad. But the results, guys, is just stunning. And I don't know if my if I'm doing it any justice. But look, let me move it back so you guys can see. How pretty is that? Now, I want to share another thing that I made to go in my envelopes. Abby.
Huh?
Hand me those. I'm in a little confined corner, you guys, and I can't get in and out of here because I'll knock down my camera. So I'm having Abby...
You want both, or you want
give me all of them.
one?
All of them. I have Abby handing me things. Look at these beautiful bag toppers, you guys, that Abby designed for me. Does anybody recognize that poinsettia? It is absolutely beautiful, you guys. So again, I added the glitterific and the little glass glitter in the center, the chunky glass glitter that I picked up at Tuesday morning. And these are going to go, guys, in my Happy Mail that I'm making right now. Look at how pretty. There's another one. So let's imagine that, let me see which one is. I love this. So let's imagine I'm gifting somebody this, you guys, and then you put this beautiful poinsettia bag topper on it. How beautiful is that? And then you could put, if you had small words or tiles or stickers or anything, you could put any of the ephemera pieces up here. You could do just about anything. But how beautiful, guys, is this poinsettia topper? And this is the exact one, like the Tim Holtz one. And I embossed it with the Tim Holtz embossing folder, but this was cut with the Design and Cut, and I had Abby design this bag topper for my ladies that I'm gifting. But I just wanted to share those with you guys because I think they are absolutely stunning. Just stunning. Now, I still haven't conquered that machine. I haven't even tried, you guys, to be honest. I haven't tried because I'm working on stuff, and if I get too wrapped up in doing that, then I won't get any of my work done. And we did have to tweak it a little bit. You know, it wasn't perfect the first time around. We did have to tweak it, but look at this, you guys. Look at how beautiful these bag toppers are. Let me remove this ruler from here. Look at how pretty that is, you guys. And then in the back, you have that poinsettia again that you could layer in the back if you wanted to, but I think it's a waste, you guys, so I didn't. What I did with the two that I did cut out, I layered them one on top of the other of the front piece. The front piece looks exactly like this, and then what I did, I staggered them. Look at how pretty, guys. That's all that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that this inspires you, and I hope that you try it, guys. Don't be afraid because of we having to manipulate it around the lid. It really wasn't that bad. Remember, just snip or cut a notch depending on if you want your paper to curve. Let's say the curve is towards you, then you would just snip it. But let's say it's curving this way, you know, it's curving like this, and the paper is going to turn into itself, then you cut a V. So that's the only thing, guys. I hope I explained it well, and if I didn't, I hope I showed you everything pretty good. And like I said, the template was a template from Google Images. So anybody can find this coffee cup and you can make it whatever size that you want. I used a 12 by 12 paper and an 8.5 by 11 to cut the front and the back, because I did want some foiling on my paper. But an 8.5 by 11 paper, you can still cut out the size that I made. It'll fit. So thanks for watching, you guys. And again, if anybody is looking for these, because this holly is an old die, you guys, it's not a new one. So Abby does still have 2 or 3 of these, and I'm going to post a link for you guys. The embossing folder was an Ally purchase last year or the year before. You know, I've had it quite a while. You know, I don't know if it's still available. You'd have to go on there and look. The little applique right here, the little bling and little rose trim is from my friend Carolyn, who is Tea Time and Dolls here on YouTube. Look, sis, I'm parting with some of it. And then the word joy is from that Hero Arts die and stamp set that I just showed you. And I believe I purchased that at Joann's. And here's the back. I didn't add a piece to the back right here because it's really not going to show, but you know, if you want to, you can make it look pretty all the way around. You can cut another piece, emboss it, and put it on the back. And then if you, of course, if you want to build up here, you could too, because you have this platform. But I think it's absolutely stunning, you guys. I don't know who's going to get this, but I hope whoever gets this likes it. And I hope that they do a video and share it with everyone, because we all have different subscribers. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope everyone's having a great day, and God bless. Bye.